New format for a program this year, and Mrs. Keller has put together a wonderful program for our first graders this year. Just like we did for fifth grade last week, we need to make sure that we're a good audience, that we clap when we're supposed to clap, and then we quiet down, and we can laugh if something's funny, and then quiet down. But I want to see that you're just as respectful this week as you were last week with our fifth grade students. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our first grade for our first grade Combined Arts program.
Welcome to our Combined Arts program. We have some important news that we would like to share with you about our school and our special classes. Things that we're watching specials include art, music, Spanish gym, and library. In first grade, we have specials once a week. How do specials fit in with IB? IB focuses on the whole child. Some of us are good at math. Some of us are good at gym. Even if we know we don't like the subject, we will do our best. The first special class that we will visit first is art. Art is my favorite special. In art class, we learn to draw, cut, and paint. This year, we have learned about famous artists like Paul Klee. And Pablo Picasso. We learn how to weave and tie yarn. We learn about walking folk art. We learn about warm and cool colors. We mix primary colors to make secondary colors. The next specials class we're going to visit is gym. Gym is my favorite special. In gym, we practice running. We play dodgeball. And we play freeze dance. Our next special class is library. My favorite special is library. In library, we learn the different parts of a book. We talk about the difference between fiction and nonfiction books. We learn to find books on the shelf.
Good morning. Thank you, Jordy. Thank you, Sammy.
Finally, we learn how to use safe sites. next special that James are watching is Spanish. Spanish is my favorite special.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias.
We can say our student mission in Spanish. We get to go to Spanish every week for 30 minutes.
We know our clothes in Spanish. I like your camisa. I like your zapatos. I like your pantalones. I like your pantalones cortos. We know all colors in Spanish. This is rojo. This is azul. This is verde. This is amarillo. We know our numbers in Spanish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Adios.
Next up is music.
Music is my favorite special.
In music, we learn how to be tuneful, beautiful, and artful. In music class, to show you what we've learned, we are putting on a show for you. The performance is based on the book about the bunnies are not in their bed. Here to sing, play, and dance for you are first graders from James R. Watson.
Nighttime is here. Little bunnies are tucked in bed. Good night. Good night. Sleep tight. Mama sits in her chair and Daddy sits in his. all is quiet. But then, what is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? Back to bed, little bunnies. No more tracks on the floor. See you in the morning. Good night. Good night. Sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama writes a birthday card to Grandma, and Daddy reads a book. But then, what is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? Bunnies, no more tracks, no more trains, no more mischief tonight. Good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama makes tea in her teapot and Daddy sets out the cups. But then, what is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? What's going on, little bunnies? You're not listening to us. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more mischief tonight. Good night, good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama is sipping her tea and Daddy is slicing some cake. But then, what's all that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy walk up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see?
Short legs,
3. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more boats, no more mischief. 1, 2, 3. Good night, good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama turns off the lights and Daddy pulls down the shades. But then, what's all that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy march up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? There will be no more noise, little bunnies. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more boats, not a sound. Good night, good night, good night. Out go the lights. All is quiet again. Not a sound in the house. The good little bunnies must be in their beds. But then, what is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. They tiptoe down the hall, open the door, and what do they see? Mama and Daddy tucked into bed, fast asleep. At last, hooray, whispered the little bunnies. We can play all night long. But then, what is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are all fast asleep. Good night, every bunny big and small. Sweet bunny dreams to one and all. Good night, sleep tight.